Hey everyone, Slambo here. Getting in almost last minute on this one. This is another contest entry. This is for Aaron Mutha Alamare. He asked us to talk about some VCLT that we've received. This is probably the third or fourth time that I've tried recording this. It's not an easy one for me to make because I haven't received any VCLT yet. But that's not really the problem. The problem is how can I tell you why it's not a problem? Um, well, first of all, it's not a problem because I'm still new in the VC. People just don't have a chance or haven't had as much of a chance to get to know me as much as some of the others who've been here a year or more. Um, my collection is a bit more diverse than most of the other collections. I concentrate mostly on comedy. But I am also growing my jazz and my 80s rock collections. So some people still don't know what they would be able to send to me. Um, but for me, I didn't start doing videos to get gifts. I started doing videos for the same reason I went on the air on the radio 20 years ago. I'm building this collection of comedy recordings, and the best way to share, or the best way to laugh at a joke, is to share a joke. Um, so I went on the air on the radio to share my collection, and I'm here on the VC again to share my collection. By sharing it with you guys, I get to listen to it all again, and I have to listen to it all again to know what I'm talking about. So that's the most important thing for me of as a video creator here in the VC. The most important thing about VCLT for me is that your emotions in receiving them are contagious. I love seeing your excitement on receiving a VCLT package in the mail. I love watching you do an unboxing of it and just being totally overwhelmed by what someone else in the VC has given you. Um, Eventually, I'm sure someone will send something to me that I'm not expecting. I've got two packages that I know that I've been told are coming. One from, I did a contest entry for another channel earlier this month, but my entry just didn't get seen, so I wasn't included in the drawing. And when I mentioned it, the host of that contest said, "Oh, I'll send you something anyway." So I've got something coming from that person. Another contest entry that I did, someone else watched my video and said, "Hey, I've got a copy of that one that you showed on a record. Do you want it?" And I said, "Well, sure, I can make a good home for that, and it's one that I know I'll appreciate, and it's one that I'm going to enjoy." So those are the two packages that I know that I'm not paying for for someone to send to me. I have purchased from other VC YouTubers. For me, like I said, I didn't start doing videos to get gifts. I started doing videos to share my collection with everyone. And in doing so, I get to listen to my collection again, which is a second reward for me. So rather than show a VCLT that I've received, because none have gotten to me yet, I'm going to show some past gifts that I've received from my family members. My parents saw my interest in the comedy records that they had, and one that they kept playing for us and that we kept quoting to each other was the song "The Gnu" by Flanders and Swan. So one Christmas, I unwrapped this little box set, the complete Flanders and Swan. It's a CD set. It's 3 CDs plus a nice little booklet. But it's the 3 CDs of basically their 3 records. So we've got At the Drop of a Hat. We've got At the Drop of Another Hat, which is a different cover from what's on the record. And we've also got The Bestiary, which again is a different cover from on the record that I showed on a previous video that I showed here. And also, The Bestiary has some extra tracks that aren't on the record called The Extiary. So I've listened to these a couple of times, and I thank my parents for thinking of me and what I was interested in from their record collection. That now I have this to remember that by. The other ones that I want to show you, since I showed three three CDs from that I received from my parents. I want to show three CDs that I've received from my wife. Um, she knows I love jazz too. So one of the first ones that she bought for me was John Coltrane, Love Supreme. And then she also got me Miles Davis, The Poetics of Sound, and Charlie Parker's Star Eyes, all three on CD. At the time she got these for us, or for me, we were buying more CDs than we were buying records, so this would have been mid to late 90s era. Um, at the time she gave these to me, I wasn't as into this style of jazz. I was still collecting early 1920s and 30s era jazz, but I knew these names and I thanked her for the gifts. And now I'm listening to these more than I'm listening to the 20s and 30s era. So I turn on the radio and it's usually mid-century Charlie Parker, Coltrane, Miles. In fact, one of the more recent acquisitions that I made was a John Coltrane record. We were just talking last night about Chet Baker, and we pulled up some of his stuff on YouTube and listened to that, and said, yeah, we could add that into our collection too. So yeah, we're listening to a lot more of that style. So those are some of the gifts that I've received from family. And like I said, I haven't received any VCLT, but that doesn't bother me. Nobody owes me a gift, so if any gifts do arrive, they're just all that much more appreciated. But as far as VCLT goes, I like watching your VCLT reviews and unboxings. Your excitement and your joy at opening those is contagious, and it just makes me feel happier for you. So that's what I've got today. See you next time.